caucus meetings.
Welcome back and thank you very much indeed. This is TV3 New Day. Welcome to the biggest news and thank you to Sonar Fashions in Tamale for my outfit. 0246590162. Again, 0246590162. And a happy birthday to the Group CEO of Media General, operators of TV3, 3FM 92.7, Onya 95.1 FM, Connect 97.1 in Takrade, Akoma 87.9 in the Ashanti region, 3news.com, APL, and 3 Foundation as well. That's our beautiful boss right there, Beatrice Sachiban. She's celebrating her birthday today. And today as well, she'll be honored at the Ghana Media Awards. 30 exceptional women who have been doing the most will be awarded. So it's a double do today. Happy birthday to you, Auntie B, as we call her around here. It is her birthday today. She shares the birthday with two of my favorite guys, a major link up. Daniel Kwashiga is a very, very great photography person, like the brother of Ivan Kwashiga, and it's his birthday today. Also to Nabil Al-Hassan, it's your birthday today of the Event Factory. Happy birthday to you if it's your birthday as well. And this morning, also a gentle reminder that it is the belated birthday wish to the Chief Director of the Office of the Head of Local Government Service, Mr. James Opon-Mensah. He turned 60 today, actually. Sorry about that. And it's from the Office of the Local Government Service, all the staff and everybody else. They wish you a happy birthday as well. And also, Gloria Edudako, it is your birthday today. Happy birthday to you. You are with the St. Monica Anglican Church in Kanishi. And then also, this is from Kojo to Mami Ese of Wesley Methodist Church. Happy birthday to you. If it's your birthday, happy birthday to you. What's on the front page as well? The Daily Graphic this morning says, unsavory vaccine politics would derail COVID-19 fight. President Akufo-Addo tells EU Parliament. Mandatory vaccination kicks off at KIA, over 100 travelers jabbed. And gathering primary data for development, birth registry to be revamped. Local government minister. Okay, what's on the back page? Ghana Health Service launches campaign to prevent maternal deaths, and Ochehene marks day with clean up. The Ghanaian Times. Make COVID-19 vaccines available to all, President Akufo-Addo tells global leaders. Commercial quantity iron ore deposit in OT. Good news. Jenapor TVET, catalyst to job creation. Vice President. 9 persons arrested for Kuyori and Skinment shooting remanded. 2020 food security vulnerability analysis. 3.6 million people lack food. They don't have Cho at a right time. Well, that's not too good to hear in a country where planting for food and jobs is supposed to have given us abundance of food. Hearts Kotoko return for midweek action as Oli hosts Gold Stars at Sogakope at 10 a.m. That's the Ghanaian Times. The BNFT says Access Bank lauds Asante-Hene for his commitment to peace and development. VRA makes 156 million Ghana cedis profit after 9 years of losses. An engineered landfill site underway in Accra. Sanitation Minister has announced. Madam Cecilia Dapa, the beautiful photo of her. And also, engineered financial stocks still remain undervalued, analysts say. The Finder newspaper, Elvis Daku, good morning to you. 344,023 households receive 27 million cedis leave cash. I suppose Adwoa Safo is still on leave, but she came to vote. Allocate 30% of viable mining concessions to women group. 2 out of 5 persons live in slums in Ghana. NDPC, the National Development Planning Commission report. Focus on skills dipping. And as new TVET program creates path to PhD level, Dr. Baumia says so. The Daily Guide is our final one. It says so 2-4 gold coins details out. And also Bagman OK's NDC motion from Dubai. Share COVID vaccines worldwide. Nana to the European Union, and free TVET begins next year. Court throws out Canada MP. That's the Asin North MP. My guest this morning is Salam Mustafa. He is the Director of Programs at the Office of the Vice President of the Republic. He's here on the ticket of the NPP. And also Dr. Clement Abasinab Apak. He is the Member of Parliament for the Bosa South constituency. Doc, so look.
So Nalwa Kubasa, I'm glad you've not forgotten.
No, I will not forget.
And they are watching you.
I will not forget. Thank you.
You know,
very much.
My nickname in my constituency, I told you, is MPTV3.
MPTV3.
So
I see.
My political life is tied to TV3.
I hear you. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Yeah, so
it rhymes. Salam alaikum.
Yeah, it actually means peace.
Yes,
it means peace.
But he looks very peaceful.
He looks peaceful.
Yeah,
but we will find out soon.
Salam, how is it going? I know you have ambition. How's it going?
But it's great. It's fantastic. I mean, I've been going around the country, and I am grateful that the service we have put for the party is appreciated by the rank and file, and so far the encouragement I have received, the push and all that is one that astounds me, and it gives me the impression that we are in for a big landfall on election day next year. And I'm happy and I'm grateful to all of our people in the New Patriotic Party.
I wish you well.
Yes. You are my senior brother.
I can only wish you well. At least this is an internal matter.
It is.
Yes.
So as we like to say,
you can wish him well.
Zufiasm.
Okay, Zufiasm.
So we will see how it goes.
But what are you aiming for?
I'm getting to run for the National Youth Organizer position of the party. You know, it's about the most coveted position in the party because it has to do with all the young people. You know, our politics largely is
why do you think I'm carrying?
Run by young people. We are the majority as far as the voting class is concerned, and also the entire population of Ghana, 57% per the 2021 census data that we got this year. Majority of the young people in this country, you know, are those who form the population. So clearly, it tells you that the political party has to do more to get membership as far as sustenance and the continuous existence of the party is concerned, and that's exactly what I Ghana to do. It's a party that has given me so much, trained me, giving me all the experience that I have today. So at such a crucial stage in the history of the party, where we seek to do the difficult task of breaking the eight, winning a third consecutive office in office. I think that all that I have in me, I should give it to the party.
I hear you.
To get that done.
I hear you.
We will. Since Salah Mustafa has raised a matter of interest.
Which is?
I think I'm going to raise a matter of interest.
Which is? His matter.
To do with a story that has been attributed to the Director of Animal Production at the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, Mr. Edwin Beko, reported to have indicated that Fulani herdsmen in the Upper East region will be relocated to Fumbisi, my constituency, Bulsa South. Clearly, this is a matter that...
Which network are you quoting?
This is A1.
A1, okay.
Yes. It's a matter that has created a lot of anxiety among my constituents because I didn't know of it, and the constituents didn't know of it.
Right.
That some processes had even been initiated to ponder, let alone to make a decision of relocating Fulani herdsmen to the Bulsa South constituency. And so I want to reassure the people of Bulsa South that I'm going to pursue this matter. And if it's indeed true that there is a policy to do such, we will resist it.
Why?
Because the presence of Fulani herdsmen in Bulsa South would have dire consequences for our people, our culture, and our environment. And so I want to take this opportunity to assure the people of Buta South, because I've received several calls since this story was published. And if it is wrong, I would urge Mr. Beko, who was said to be speaking when the Agric Minister, Dr. Friye Bequin, Friye Akoto, visited the Upper East region on a working visit to interact with the various municipal and district directors of the Department of Agriculture, for the records to be set straight.
I hear you.
Because
I hear you.
You know, it is not a small matter.
To him, and
yes,
I'm sure.
Indeed.
Yeah, if it is wrong, they should put. I mean, that's why I'm quoting.
Right.
The
That's
source
why
of the
I
story.
also ask you.
Exactly.
I asked you,
it
where
is
exactly it's coming
A1.
Okay.
A1radio.com.
Okay. I'm sure that Mr. Bequin,
I know A1.
if it is
Very well.
Yes. I
if
know
it is
A1.
anyway, let's make progress. COVID-19 vaccines have arrived yesterday. I'm told some more came in. The president yesterday addressed the European Union Parliament in Strasbourg, France, and called on the global leaders to help make the COVID-19 vaccines available to all parts of the world. He also stressed the need to encourage everyone to take the jab to ensure that the fight against the pandemic is brought under control. President Akufo-Addo stated that COVID-19 had posed the greatest test to humanity in the initial decades of the 21st century in light of the ravages of the pandemic, which had affected all countries, rich and small. According to him, the predictions of Africa going to be hit dramatically because of its relatively weak public health systems, with streets being littered with dead people when the virus reached the continent, had not come to pass. So the president says, share the vaccine. Have we tried to settle the matter, for example, at the airport? Because people are complaining now that, why are you forcing me to take a vaccine that perhaps I'm not ready to take? Why are you forcing everybody?
Johnny, good morning to you, my senior brother, Dr. Park, your crew, and all your viewers. So, on this issue of vaccines and matters rising, we were all hit by a pandemic of global proportion. Sometime, I think it started very late 2019, all the way till now. We are all struggling to have it under control.
Right.
It looks like a new variant has come into town, and all attempts are being made to keep it under wraps before it also goes haywire. We will do ourselves a lot of good if we are able to bring it under control, because across the world, if you look at the, ravaging nature of COVID-19, deaths, economic hemorrhage, societal discordance, all the problems it has brought upon us, upon humanity, I think it's only fair that we find a way to bring it under control. So I think that it is not about forcing people to take the jabs, but to find a way to keep it under control. I have taken the first and second, and I have taken even the booster jab.
Okay.
It's because I shouldn't, find a way of contracting it and going to spread it to other people. You understand? So it was out of, if you like, civil duty that I took the jab to ensure that I protect myself and protect other members of society. But if you look at the global politics around vaccine, it is also yet another very serious issue that we have to deal with. When COVID struck, for a long time, I think for about 2 years or so, I didn't step a foot out of this country. Then an assignment took me somewhere in the UK. Then I decided, a friend of mine invited me to go and watch a football game. I was shocked when I entered the park. There was no, mask on, and the stadium was filled to capacity.
The numbers.
Filled to capacity. So I was like, what's going on? And they told me, about 70 or so or more percent of the entire, British population is vaccinated. So you know what? Life is coming back to normal. Right. So if they are able to vaccinate about 70% of their population, and life is virtually getting back to normal, how can there such imbalance of flow of the vaccine, right? So if we don't get vaccinated, the vaccines don't come, and we keep producing more variants, then this thing is not going to go anytime soon.
But we had a target. We had a target for October 2021 to have vaccinated about 20 million people, right?
Yes,
20 million of our
yes,
population,
about 20
right?
million percent.
What happened to that target?
Is the difficulty in acquiring the vaccines, because you go there, Americans, want to keep it. They are also struggling to get majority of their people vaccinated. They don't want to release vaccines, and the Europeans are doing so. And, unfortunately, within the African sub-region, we have not been able to, develop our own vaccine. And who even knows if we developed the vaccine, whether the international community would be ready to accept it. The politics around it, because it's coming from Africa, they want to downplay it because they are multinational corporations, these big companies, the Pfizers and the Modernas and the Johnson and Johnsons, the AstraZenecas are those who should probably be the pioneers, the lead, and these countries, you would have to go and buy from them, you like it or not. So it's a difficulty, and it is clearly right that His Excellency the President put it right in the face of world leaders that what you are doing is not right. We are all interlinked, intricate.
Okay.
If Europe is safe, if America is safe, Asia is safe, and Africa is not safe, once we keep traveling, globalizing,
I see.
The thing will never go away because it will keep crossing.
But of particular interest at the airport now,
Yes.
what kind of behavioral change support what kind of behavioral change supports communication and education have we done there so that it doesn't look as if we are coercing people to take the vaccine, but like you're explaining now, we are letting them understand the consequence of they not taking the vaccine on all of us, because now people are complaining.
So I think I used the airport not long ago.
You work at the office of the vice president. You can't be heckled.
I go through the normal,
Yes, but you have a red passport. You can't be heckled.
No, I use my normal green passport.
You don't have a diplomatic passport.
No, I don't use a diplomatic passport.
You don't?
I don't use a diplomatic passport.
But you have?
I don't have a diplomatic passport. And I don't use a diplomatic
But that's
passport.
strange, that's strange, though.
I like my green passport. And I've made a conscious effort to keep to my green passport. And when I go to the airport, I use the same normal route like everybody else. I came, went through the queue, went and did my COVID test, and waited for the results and came out. You see, when you get here, and even when you are going out, whichever country you are going, you are asked whether you are vaccinated or not.
Right.
Okay? If you are not vaccinated, they have certain protocols that you must follow upon entry into the jurisdiction of that particular country. So it is the same thing here. When we came, I think we had to fill a form also, a health form and blah blah. In fact, I think I had forgotten or I didn't know. When I was asked. When I went, in filling the form, the same question was there. Have you been vaccinated? I said yes.
But there are those who say, look, I have been vaccinated for less than 72 hours. And I get here and I'm forced to run a test again and pay $150. No, it's now what? $50.
When you're a citizen.
Yes. Now, they say, look, I just took my test in less than 72 hours.
Yes.
You're bringing me in and charging me again. That's a clear rip-off. That's what they think.
So before you embark, especially if you're traveling to the UK area, I haven't gone to the EU side, so I don't know. But for UK, I can say for sure that you fill a passenger locator form and you pay for day 2 and is it 5 or 8 before you even get there. Okay? And when you are leaving, you do a COVID test. What I did was 100 and I think almost 30 pounds in UK. So it's not a rip-off. I don't know. But if it is to keep us safe, as I thought, I decided to go with the protocols.
Okay.
Because for me, the safety of humanity is key than looking. Look, it is very discomforting. They put in, you know, the swab in your nose or down your throat, and it is very discomforting. Nobody likes it. But if it will help us temporarily to have it under control, and if we are able to vaccinate, if we follow protocol, we'll have it under control.
I'll come to Doc in a bit, but again, issues have been raised about the holding centers. For example, M Plaza. We know how some videos came out, how the place was not fit for purpose. The sink with dirty water. The people were not giving good food and all of that. They complained. I hear they're still being used as a holding center for people who come through and have to be quarantined. Is the government not listening to the people?
So I am not sure. I haven't been to M Plaza in a very long time, but the few times I have used the place, I think it's a very neat place. I don't know if you know M Plaza, if you have been inside there before.
I used to live close to it.
Yeah, it's quite a nice place.
My father wore a uniform once.
I saw that some of those videos, and I think subsequently some came out to even apologize and all that. Well, it's a facility. I'm not sure they will get everything right. But we should also appeal to them, and probably authorities should do routine checks and ensure that they keep the place as
Thank you very much.
possible.
Sorry, I had to drag Salam small.
It's important. I mean, he comes from the presidency and works in the office of the vice president. And I mean, in our political setup, the executive clearly is responsible for policy formulation and implementing the policies based on, you know, the financial resources put us at its disposal. So it is proper that, you know, we quiz them in as far as the usage of our resources are concerned, and in terms of what ought to be done to ensure that you know, we are in good health. So I understand that.
The president is asking for vaccines to be made available, but on your table in Parliament, we tried to procure vaccines and it didn't end well. Whether we paid money, we didn't pay money, whether we were not thinking right or not thinking right. Recently, I heard the Minister for Health on the floor say he's been so vilified he doesn't even have an image. He's not apologizing. He's telling us about his image. Where is that matter now, the bipartisan investigation in Parliament? Where is it? On the Sputnik V vaccine, where is it? I want to know.
First of all, let me say good morning to listeners and to appreciate both of you as well. And to greet my people of Busia South. Busingamena Mapusi, Wamena Soluk.
Salute.
Having done that, let me quickly indicate that Parliament is a house of records. And we have processes and procedures. It is one of those processes that was initiated and the procedures followed that led to the bipartisan committee that looked into the now botched attempt to procure vaccines from a middleman, I believe Sheikh
Khartoum.
Dalmouk. I like the Dalmouk. You know, the last part of it, it clearly would raise your eyebrows. Dalmouk. And we all know how it went. The issue was that on the day that we were supposed to take that report, neither the Speaker nor his first deputy was in the seat. And the debate was so heated that the second deputy speaker who was in the seat had decided that it would be best to hold on onto voting on the report. So that has not happened. But it has since been re-advertised, and I have a very strong feeling that we will take a vote on it. Now remember that this was towards the, almost at the end of the last meeting. And since we came back, the budget has become dominant. So we expect that we should be able to take a vote on this matter.
You returned sometime in October. The budget was read on the 17th of November. In between that time, for a matter that was so close to conclusion, you could have brought closure to it, because I think that it has a certain impact on the image of Parliament and even on the executive as well. And the minister himself.
I agree. I mean, this was a public inquiry. I mean, it was telecast, everybody followed, I mean, and we know what happened. We've done the report. But you see, the way Parliament works sometimes can be frustrating. I'm being honest with you. And I can anticipate and understand why the public is discomforted in terms of the speed with which things are done. But you must also know, and the public ought to know, that we have various committees, including the business committee.
Right.
And the role of the business committee is to set the agenda week by week. The business committee is chaired by the NPP side. So what is prioritized and what is not, clearly they would have a say. So it is not that...
Even in a hung parliament like we have now?
Well, they chair the committee. Once you chair the committee, you have influence.
But we don't have 169, 106 anymore.
That is when it comes to the plenary. The current arrangement in some of the committees, the MPP side chairs. In some of them, we chair.
Okay, right.
And the business committee is chaired by the party that has formed government.
Okay.
For obvious reasons.
Okay, right.
And that is why when we say that we don't have the capacity yet, it's not our goal to obstruct government business. But depending on the Minister of Parliamentary Affairs, who also doubles as the majority leader. That then decides the way we respond and give an input. So we have continued to pursue this. We would like it to come for us to take a vote. But let's be honest. When the business committee meets and then they draw the program, we debate it.
Okay.
The Friday prior to when the business statement comes into effect. And so many of us, if you go to check the Hansard, we have raised questions about this. When we are going to do this, when we are going to do that, when we are going to take this report, when we are going to take that report. So it is not for lack of effort.
Okay.
But by and large, it is the leadership of Parliament. And when I say leadership, this now includes the Speaker, the First Deputy, the Second Deputy, the Majority Leader, Minority Leader.
The whips. And
they together must come together and then, you know, put in place the mechanisms for all of these things to unfold.
Okay.
So it is not that we have not made an effort, but I wanted to make a point.
Okay.
In terms of the current challenge that the Ghana Health Service is communicating, that the bulk of our population, or many people who should be getting vaccinated, although the vaccine is available, don't seem to be interested, and therefore some additional measures are being taken to coerce and even compel for this to be done. But you see, you made a point that I have to emphasize.
Which is?
We have grossly failed to educate the population about the vaccine and the vaccination. But we did a good job at the onset of the virus in terms of propagating and letting our people understand the protocols and what you ought to do.
Right.
But I don't believe we have committed enough resources to public education regarding the need to get yourself vaccinated. This should have been going on every FM station, every TV station, because we know from the onset that there have been groups, there have been people, some of them prominent, locally, globally, who, for personal reasons, have not accepted the fact that these vaccines are wholesome and indeed have been produced to help us get the immunity. And so when you have this and you don't educate the people, you can't fault the people for being skeptical and suspicious with regards to taking the vaccine.
You see, in fact, Media General started this whole public campaign for wear your mask, sanitizer and everything. Dr. Bedusa Kodia was the Director of Public Health. We did the first public service announcement. So myself, Alfred, Bella, Anita, we did that. Then we even brought some doctors to come and also do before the Ghana Health Service and the ministry started theirs. It's just like what happened during the Galamsey, the initial stage of the Galamsey fight. When the media dedicates airtime and resources to do what the state is supposed to do and we are supporting, and then you get the political class consistently flouting the COVID protocols and telling the people that their activities are not responsible for it, you make it look as if we are fetching water into a basket. And then over the loud silence of the health authorities who should call the political class to order and say, what you are doing will come back to hurt us. I think that's what has brought us where we are now. The campaigns, the fact that the health service kept quiet, and that we had spin doctors putting a spin on it, that the massing up didn't contribute to the spike, is what has brought us where we are. And that's the fact.
Well, Johnny, you are right. And I have expressed opinions on this complicity on the part of officialdom to say that the citizens should do A, and yet they don't do A.
That's right.
I mean, I've made references to
parties and weddings and
all of that has happened. And as we are speaking now, we know the MPP is gearing up for a national delegates conference in the capital of the Ashanti region. We will all be monitoring to see if things are done differently compared to what we all believe clearly did not make the case in terms of the visuals that we saw to do with political activity, party-related activity, and what have you. But you see, the other point that I wish to make on this matter is that colossal amounts of monies have been devoted to and expended on the back of COVID, be it issues of providing free food and electricity and food for persons who were stranded and could not get 1 square meal per day during the lockdown, to now extending the program to schools in terms of the vaccination.
That's right.
The point I'm making is that we have spent not less than 40 billion. And so to think that the state and through government resources cannot be made available for a 24/7 continuous public education, paying media houses, rather than saying that they should do this out of benevolence, we can't understand. And that is why our side has asked for an audit, for government to account for all of these resources claimed to have been utilized to help address the COVID challenge. How much of it has gone to public communication? How much of it has gone to the NCCE? Have media houses been paid? Shouldn't it be the case that as we speak, every single radio station in this country, every single TV station in this country should have received resources from the state to continue to advocate and to call the people's attention to the need to maintain the protocols, to observe them, and also to propagate the need to subject themselves to vaccination so that we can achieve the herd immunity. So what has happened to those resources? Why must Media General do this pro bono when we know such colossal resources were devoted to all of this?
Well, we're trying to be socially responsible.
Yes, that is good. That is good. You must be commended. But resources have been made available. Where have those resources done? And that is why...
Have you asked those questions in part?
Well, we continue to do. You know, we have even written formally to the Auditor General to conduct an audit on just the COVID expenditure.
But Kojo Nkrumah says, look, we're still fighting COVID, so wait and let's finish the fight, and then we can do the accounts.
Well, we are still fighting malaria. Should we say that we should not evaluate and find out? And the Auditor General does that. I'm a member of the Public Accounts Committee. I can tell you that we have what we call performance audit. So for nothing at all, there should be a performance audit. We know when COVID came into being. We have a time frame. And that is what other countries have done, even on the African continent.
I hear you. Salam, step in. I saw you writing one or two.
Yes, yes.
What take your second minute, and then Cookie will come in with the messages. Doctor will wrap up ours.
Okay, yeah. Johnny, I disagree a little bit with you and Dr. Park.
I'm not part of the panelists.
Yes, yeah, but you shared similar opinion. If you look at the numbers, it doesn't support the argument that politicians, if you like, campaigns, contributed to a certain spike. If you watch the numbers well, the time we were campaigning in 2020, the numbers as compared to the period after the Christmas period last year, you would clearly see that the campaigns did not, influence the numbers as much as the Yuletide. So that's where I have a little bit.
So this is where. Sorry. So this is where the health service tells us that the virus takes time to incubate.
That is true.
Now, so if you had your campaigns ahead,
yes,
and the effects
it
start
takes
showing,
about 10 days.
Exactly. The
and
effects
we
start
had our
showing
election on the 7th of December.
Beautiful.
So by 27th,
right,
we would have
it should be showing. And it was around that 27 when people were doing Christmas parties and weddings and everything else.
So it means that if you are going to add 10 days after 27, you will see it much ahead.
But then the people,
and that's what we started seeing.
Do you doubt that the people learned from your massing up? And they decided that, if you say weddings and parties have been banned, but you can do campaign, then we can also do
that. At a point, we felt that we had managed COVID here much better.
So they learned from you?
Not necessarily that they learned from politicians.
Where did they learn it
from? Dr. Park had to.
Where did they learn it from? Where did they learn it from?
To maintain his seat.
But I'm saying, where did they learn it from?
You think that he didn't want to campaign?
No, where did they learn it from?
You see, let's Salam, we shouldn't deny. The political class.
I'm not.
Our conduct
was
contrary to what we were preaching.
That's right.
And as for that, we should. And I mean, we raised the point
if
of
you
how
realize, 2020,
some people, we didn't pastors and the rest of them, were arrested and were being prosecuted.
Yes.
At the same time, when politicians were out and about.
The science has also taught us that outdoor events are not as dangerous as the enclosed environment and all that.
This was what was said.
Yes, and so that adds to the fact that the numbers did not go up at the time we were campaigning because we're doing more outdoor events, and our temperature here is higher as compared to, say, the West now, which is colder and would, enable the virus.
This argument was made. Your contender in the upcoming youth organizer thing, Nana B.
Nana B is going for national.
He's going for national. Okay, the person, the holder of the position.
That is who he's hoping to replace.
Yes, he had once said.
Or to take over.
He has once said.
More so.
When the cases had happened and the kids returned to school and they were being made to register, we had people going to the schools to campaign to them. He said another strong point that he had identified was that most of the people brought the virus from home. Even without testing them, he could see their faces and know that they brought the virus from home.
Well, I have
that tape.
I think this is just an aside. But the issue is that citizens across the world, I think we have shown commonness as human beings across the world, how we have all reacted to this particular situation.
Right.
I'm sure if you have followed CNN very well, at a point, America was offering cash for jobs just to encourage people to come and take the vaccination.
Yes, I've also offered some things.
You know, so it looks like naturally people are averse to these things. But we have to, realize that we are protecting our own selves.
Right.
You see, and that's what government, which has the responsibility to ensure that the safety in society, puts these measures in place. I think that when I came going around, if it's you don't get to Heathrow or any other airport in the world and you go through the kind of scrutiny that we even go through here. So if you call us third world country and we have shown such seriousness in dealing with the pandemic, then it only tells us that we are doing something right here, and our measures are paying off.
Can we do that?
I think that with regards to publicity for jobs and all that, let's not discount there's so much propaganda that was rife on social media against it. Somebody putting a phone on his neck that if you take the jab,
at least it was punished, right?
Yes, some religious interest.
A military guy.
No, it's a policeman. I like what the police administration did. Made him apologize and it was dealt with.
We pumped so much vile propaganda in the system to discourage people from it. So I agree. We are still fighting it. We are not out of the woods yet. If we can all go back and ensure the president was the first person to take the jab in public for everybody to see that I have taken it, followed by his vice.
We didn't see the second one though.
Yeah, but obviously, once you have taken the first one, you take the second.
I hear you.
I know that they've taken the jab. The booster one.
They're taking the third one. Let Cookie read some messages. And we showed you our cards when we went to take the vaccine on the set. So at least we're encouraging you to go and take it away. There are a lot of misconceptions that come along with it. But go and take the jab. Eat right. Eat very well. And then go and take the jab. Nothing will happen to you. Cookie, welcome.
Even if you feel you are the strongest, just take it.
Yeah, just take it. I mean, because at the end of the day, people have a lot of misconceptions. But do we have the vaccines to achieve the herd immunity?
Well, as far as government is concerned, there is a lot. And they even indicate that some vaccines have expired because people did not make themselves available.
Okay.
I know these vaccines have...
some time...
so far, their lifespans are not that long.
Yeah.
And perhaps the issue of storage too,
right?
Where to store them
anyway,
can have an impact.
Cookie, step in for me. Welcome. Let's read some messages.
All right, a few messages this morning, not too many, so I'll try to read all of them. Good morning to you. The government must do everything possible to make sure that citizens get medical care affordably and can also access medical care without any hindrance. And also advocating for citizens to take COVID-19 vaccines. This is coming from Aaron Babako Kokomisa in Latebi Okoshi. Second one says, good morning, Johnny. Please ask the man when the NAPCO arrears will be paid since he works at the office of the vice president. Ralph in Koforidia. And now, Etonam from the central region is asking that what is so special with the COVID-19 vaccines that it must be imposed on us rather than people getting encouraged to take it. Her second question is, why is government trying to impose compulsory vaccination on according to the Public Health Act 851? Yet when you die out of taking the vaccine, there will be no answer provided. The best 100% preventive measure, according to her, is to reinforce COVID-19 protocols whilst continuous massive education on benefits are given to the public. Etonam from the Central Region. This one says, Johnny, good morning. Please, the MPP is already in opposition come 2024. The MPP doesn't like the truth. My wife is a teacher and government has refused to pay her legacy salary arrears for 2013. I shall vote against them in 2024. The MPP must wake up. Reverend Adote sent in that one. Johnny, a vaccine is to provide immunity to a virus. Why the policy, which is not even recognized by law, for a mandatory vaccination when no one is even immune from contracting the virus? Keeping travelers at M Plaza is an executive rip-off, period. Divine from Kaswa sent in that one. Why are our leaders so heartless and unsympathetic? What crime have we committed to work as a NAPCO personnel? Prices of goods and services keep rising daily, yet our little stipends, which will help us survive this hardship, has been withheld. Please, plead on our behalf. If we have done anything wrong, we are seriously starving. They should pay us our 3-month stipends, and it's coming from John in Akumadan. Johnny, God bless you a lot. You have spoken on behalf of the people. Thank you. I'm a NAPCO trainee. Somewhere in 2019, I got declined whilst I was unaware. I was brought back after 5 months, which, okay, so this is also talking about the arrears that must be paid all NAPCO trainees. Johnny, just a few messages, I'm done with them.
Thank you very much, Cookie, for those messages. Ambassador Sampiale sends this one. He says, I should ask Dr. Park to explain the constitutional basis that the NDC group in Parliament agreed to be called the minority in Parliament. And another media friend in the Bono region around Techiman says, I support Dr. Park. Media in Techiman had to beg the then regional minister for PPEs through the media, though the media was used to cover the sharing of the PPEs to some facilities. So your leg was seeking about you enter. Now, Ashon Katai says, when they use 32 million Ghana cedis for meetings and conferences, how can they have money for public education? Okay, let me come to you, Salam. Closing thoughts. NAPCO, from promise of permanency to non-payment of stipends, they have been asked to stay on. Who is paying them? What are we paying them? When are we paying them? Why are we not paying them?
Well, for some of your questions, I'm sure you'd have to get Dr. Anyas.
He sat here and promised
specific answers as to when they will be paid. Dr.
Anyas sat where Dr. Park is sitting in a all white dress on his birthday, and promised us that the monies will be paid in 2 weeks. It's been more than a month. That's why I'm asking you, because NAPCO is under the presidency, right?
Yes, it's under the office of the president.
Right.
Yes.
And the vice president's office is close to the office of the president.
Yeah, we play a support role to the president. You know, my senior brother has been there before. He knows how the system runs. But of course, it's under the OGM. Yes,
including the vice.
Yes, it's under the OGM, and the whole NAPCO thing is of a good thought, that let's find a way to engage our young people, the youth of this country. We cannot be churning out young people who stay home and do nothing. So the idea was to engage, at least find some experience as we engage you, so that we find other ways of creating permanent employment for the young people.
Right.
Yeah, I agree that sometimes the stipends delay, but I think the intention behind it is a noble one.
You can't blow a trumpet on an empty stomach.
I agree. I agree that trainees and the guys in NAPCO should take on board in good faith. Let's all find a way to get to NAPCO to pay the money on time. I'm sure that something is being worked on. You know, government has decided that we will not scrap the NAPCO away, because you can't ask all these people young people to go home
But
and sit down.
Salam, that was what was said until there was a public agitation. Now the question is, you owe them September and October.
Sure.
You have asked them to stay on November, December. You have
I
not
have
paid them.
no doubt in my mind.
So they are beginning to question.
That I have no doubt. At least all the discussions I've heard, I've personally engaged Dr. Anyas, to find out the future. And I know they're also doing some restructuring. And about 30,000 people, NAPCO trainees, have found permanent employment. 30,000. And I'm sure there's an opening that we can...
The president said in August that 73,000 will get jobs.
Yeah. We are trying. The issue of jobs is one of the most topical everywhere you go in this country. And I, as a young person, I am passionate about it. That go to the polytechnics, now we call technical universities. The myriads of universities we have, and they keep springing up left, right, and center. We are turning out graduates. Today, almost everyone who finishes
you have not paid them. That's the bottom line. That's what they are asking for. You are now explaining to us what our maize looks like.
We have in the system.
They say pay them.
Yes,
pay them.
We have to ensure that the system is able to find something for them to do. And I'm sure that certainly they will be paid. That one I have no doubt.
You don't know when they will be paid.
Because I don't work with NAPCO directly.
Okay, I hear you.
So
then you are the wrong person to speak with. Okay.
Dates that the money
we have to go. Unfortunately,
that one has to come from.
Very quickly. I think it all boils down to paying them. I mean, all the messages that were read border on the fact that they have not been paid. They are struggling, and they are asking for the needful to be done. And it is disappointing that several promises have been made, and yet they have not been paid. They have every right to seek redress.
They do. That is why together
we have to go.
Parliament should pass appropriation
and
make sure that there are funds available.
So that Dr. Clement he is the Member of Parliament for the Busa South constituency, and also Salam Mustafa. He is the Director of Programs at the Office of the Vice President. Thank you to Sona Fashions for my outfit. 0246 590 He's in Tamale Kuko, and you need to get something special from him. And this is a happy birthday to the Chief Director of the Office of the Head of the Local Government Service, Mr. James Opon-Mensah. You are 60 today. Happy birthday. I'm sure you are preparing for retirement, sir. Happy birthday also to Patricia Fia Kwachwa Amoafo of EcoBank Head Office in Accra. And this is from Ifia. Also, happy birthday to Nabil Al-Hassan of Event Factory, my good brother. To you, Daniel Kwashiga as well, a very great brother and barracks boy. And also Beatrice Ajiman, she's the CEO of Media General. It's your birthday today. Good morning to Mr. Francis Da Odogon of the Akachi Government Hospital, and to Ebenezer Prempeh Donko, youth organizer hopeful of Anya Sotum constituency, and to Aisha Seidu, aka Amanda, CEO of Aisha's Faces. This is your birthday today. Wish from Percy. We'll see you after the break. There's more here on TV3 New Day. We'll be right back.
Water gives life. Water is life. Enjoy the pure, refreshing taste of Awake purified drinking water, which comes in a uniquely designed bottle with a lemon green tap. Water is your perfect way to stay hydrated. And remember, for every bottle you buy, an amount will be donated to the National Cardiothoracic